Hey, what's up, Tamers? It's Dev from DevsUtopia here, and I am with Munfusion. He managed to come in the 31st place in the most recent regional. Wait, which one was it hosted by again?
Core TCG on Sunday.
Yeah, this past Sunday, and everything, he managed to come in 31st place with Crossheart. And I'm not sure if you guys can tell and everything, but like we really like Crossheart. Like the Crests of
He's
Utopia
one of
really
my
like
favorites.
Crossheart.
He is one of my favorites. He is one of my favorites. I will admit that under the sun.
I like him because he's loud. I like that he's just the loudest protagonist Digimon, I think.
He
You know,
also has a mind of his own.
he has a mind of his own. He's not just a
Like
character
someone's
that
pet.
just follows everybody else around.
Yeah,
No, he
and he
has
has
a
a goal
goal. Yeah,
to
he's like his
be the
own
king.
character. Yeah, Taiki is cool, but like Shoutmon's cooler. But that's besides the point. Yeah,
Poor Taiki.
yeah, he's a cool protagonist, but Shoutmon's the best. But that's besides the point and everything. Like we've made the joking before, like, yeah, we really like Crossheart. And the world likes Crossheart too, because I think, wait, did Crossheart win national or win worlds?
It won Worlds. It got second place at the United States Nationals, and it did win a regional. I think it was Karmashka's regional. I think it won.
Right.
Yeah, Karmashka. I won there.
Yeah, so like, again, this is why we're not showing you like the traditional way we usually do the deck profiles, card by card, this, that, and the other. Cross art has kind of been like done to death and everything, and we're just trying to give you advice on how to play the game. So you might see like this video is going to be a little bit formatted differently. I'm going to try to play around with editing visuals just a little bit more, show off a few key cards and everything, right? And simply just kind of do it in a different way. A few of my videos in the future are just going to be a little bit more explanation of explaining how and why a deck is good instead of it only being a deck profile. But I'm also even working on having a written explanation of everything, potentially on like a different website, of course, not in the description, that has like just a snapshot of the deck profile. If you don't want to sit through that, if you just want to look at the deck profile itself, there might be a website created in the future and everything. Not sure how soon yet, but eventually. So to give you guys just the quickest rundown of how Crossheart works right now and everything in BT11. You kind of rely on, building wide, rookie rushing, using Zenjiro, using Akari, using Taiki, getting all your pieces. Times three is a really good consistency card that has kind of made up for just grabbing all of your pieces. Not that there's even more pieces thanks to the introduction of Times 7, the Greymon, and Omni Shout as well. Omni Shout also being able to be counted as a Shoutmon has really been helpful because now you can like Digicross using Omni Shout. You can Digicross and just not have rush, but you'll have Security Attack Plus for that next turn, be able to potentially do a lot more damage, et cetera, et cetera. You have the
Yep.
triple tamer as well. Now you don't really need a memory tamer, and you can just do your gimmick, add a card, cross art card, or a blue flare card under it, gain a memory draw card. So for when you're getting memory choke, that will come in very handy. Having multiple out is just a good idea too. And again, being able to get the pieces, that's all kind of like times three job, Taiki's job, Shoutmon's job. So it's not like you're going to be constantly running out of pieces every 5 seconds. It's actually very easy to have pieces.
That is
Um,
true.
Time 7 is a really good control card at a certain point too, because it being at high BP and everything and being able to story something that is either at the same or lower is a good way to just kind of like solidify a game or just slow down your opponent. DefX is still a thing. DefX is in deck profile at 1, but it's really good against the mirror match. Same thing with Crimson Blaze. Sunrise Wester is a given. It was played at almost 4 when times 4 was a thing, but since it was hit to 1, it still comes in handy. Um, it's just more of you kind of want it to be in your hand, or you kind of want it's like kind of like that combo of like hey, now I can play an Akari, now I can play a Garulu, this, that, and the other. But that's the quickest rundown that I could give you. Again, this deck has been out. It's been keep getting all of these new kind of upgrades and all that. Now we're just going to get into a little bit more of just like what Infusion's like matchups will be. So like, yeah, what were your matchups?
So my first round was the mirror match with Minerva version. Unfortunately, I could not get my piece fast enough to deal with the blinding ray, gravity crush into Minerva, rush you down strategy. So that was unfortunate. But next round I went against trying to remember that round two was like a oh man, dude, I'm sorry. I'm like trying
No,
to
it's good.
remember.
It's good.
Round two, if I remember correctly, that
Like it's like
was a
what is even today? Today's like Monday. It's like the day
yeah.
after he was also Mafusion was also in the Saturday tournament regional and everything. So like no, you're completely fine. You're completely fine. Is there any matchup that you just specifically remember?
Um, so I can't remember the second round off the top of my head. I'll probably come to you in a minute. But after that, I know it was. Wait, was it OTK deck? No, it wasn't OTK deck. It was something. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm move on from that down for a second. I'm sorry for whoever I played against the second round. I'm really sorry, man.
No, no,
I
keep
I
going. What
have
was third?
I
What was
have
third
tried playing.
round?
Third round was another mirror match, mirror version. I played that dude to get on Saturday, and I played him again, and I almost it was a close game. Game three, I just could not find the Crimson Blaze in time to stop him, but he did rush me down there. So yeah, unfortunately, the mirror version is a bit better at like control, but once Crimson Blaze is out, it is easier to stop it. But if you can't find Crimson Blaze, it's just like well, nothing you can do there. And then the round after that was Green OTK. Um, that one was a little rough because I did break game one, but game two and three, um, game three he bricked, but game two he has pieces. But the thing that clutched out for me was I kept time sevening him. I literally made time seven twice. Game two and kept popping his grandies every time he made it, so he couldn't really do much about it. Um, like Tyson really helped out for that one. And then the match after was a Black War Greymon matchup where Black War, um, like if Black War goes off, it goes off. But if you can rush him down, not much you can do about it. And that's what I kept doing. I kept rushing him down. And at one point, I had times three with Omnishout under it to give Scary Plus to keep him at one memory, and he just couldn't really. He had to like DTG ball the Omnishout, and he couldn't really get rid of anything because the Omnishout is too big for Metal Greymon to get rid of. And then next turn I just times seven popped it and then ran through security that way, and then I got it from there. And then the next round was against a blue OTK player. Um, we went to game three. Game one I rushed him down. Game two he was able to stop me, and then game three I just got time seven in time to pop his board and then killed him through there, and he just couldn't really do anything about it. And then same and then the same thing happened again against uh on the next round against blue hybrid player. Not blue. I'm sorry, not blue hybrid. Blue OTK player. Um, he was able to my rest number game one, game two he stopped me. Game three he only had no Groomon on the field, so I just time seven popped it, and then when he bounced it back, I did it again, and he just couldn't really handle that unfortunately. And then game three, up, and then the next round to that, I was up against the mirror match actually of this deck, of the time seven version of Crossheart, and unfortunately for my opponent, I was able to get my pieces faster, so I time seven popped his time seven, and then one of the games, I DefX'd him, and he just couldn't really do anything about it because he had a big field of tamers out that kept rushing him down. And I just filled his board up with tamers because of that. And then DefX just came out base with free. And then the last round I had was up against Minerva. Not Minerva. I'm sorry, not Minerva Loop. Was against Three Musketeers actually, which is surprising for all the people here that never heard, that haven't seen that deck in a hot minute.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
he
blast from the past, really.
Yep. It did well. It did well. I just was able to kill it fast, like really fast, and he couldn't
Yeah,
like.
it did. Yeah, probably sure you knew how to go against that deck because I swear there was a time where everybody was playing. Three
Here in
Musketeers in
Michigan?
Michigan.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Even
So like
you. Even
it,
you.
yeah, I think I was doing it too, right? Because I
Yep. Yeah. Shout out to on the DevsUtopia, Adam, and all the Musketeer players here in Michigan. You guys literally helped me out for this, so appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all so much for that.
sometimes the most obscure matchups can still come in handy in the future. Just knowing what your opponent's deck can do matters the most sometimes when it comes to competitive card games.
Oh, okay. Now I remember my second round was. It was against Blue Flare. I remember now.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Don't worry,
it
I
was a
would have
blue.
forgot about them too.
Hey, no shade, no shade, no shade, no shade, no shade. No,
I would
no
have
pressure,
forgot
Blue
about the
Flare.
deck, not the person.
Yeah, no. The blue flare, like he actually was good. He was good.
You have to
He
be
couldn't push
such
the
a
game.
good pilot to take
Yep.
Blue Flare right now to
Yeah.
a tournament. You have to be a good pilot.
Yeah. And he was a pretty good pilot. It's just that
Yeah.
unfortunately for him and he knows what I'm talking about for this. Time seven is one of the best cards in this game. Against Blue Flare because all he just needs to do is be in the field, and as long as you on one in the field, you can't really beat that without
Yep.
Sarai. And even then, it's still rough. He has all six pieces, so it's like I like it was rough. It was rough.
You have to Sarai, get rid of as much as possible. Try to get rid of the Z Greymon, which is almost completely at the top of the Digivolution stack.
Yep.
Right. So you have to hit Sora and Joe. You have to have your Soras and Joes. You have to have potentially Sarai if you play it, right? Um, just to get time seven down to eye level with Blue Flare for Blue Flare to have an easier time because of all of those sources and everything. It makes it even worse. I mean, like even in the next set and everything, right? Superior mode might make it even the matchup even a little bit more skewed in Crossroads' favor. But yeah, no, like Fusion again, what's it called? Was able to just come in 31st place by just simply knowing how to play Crossfire, knowing the ins and outs. Yes, it's a easy deck to play that you see constantly, but it really does depend on those little minute plays going. Oh my gosh. All right, so hello, we're back again. We had like a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are back. And we're going to kind of just go into just the changes for BT12 and everything. So since, this Friday is going to be the release of Across Time and everything and all that, and we're going to be seeing so many new cards. What are some like, what are some cards that you're going to probably just put in Crossart immediately and try out?
So, so for me, I'm first gonna try out the new Taiki and the new King Shao. The new King Shao because of the fact that the fact that you can play a Taiki for free after Digicrossing or Digivolving is really good, and the fact that also that like if he dies, he only saves himself. He saves a Digimon from the trash with save in his text. So that means I could save my Drumon that's probably gone, or a Ballista, or a Shout, or Zeke or something like that that like I'm missing to put on a tamer and then use it for a future part of the turn.
Right.
And also the Taiki's really cool because I just put any of my save materials under here, gain a memory. No, I guess not a gain memory. Just
But
draw a
draw a
card,
card. Right.
and like that also will help out too. Especially also with like, let's say I want to digivolve to a king shot again. I can literally just I literally use this effect to tap, put a Ballistamon under him. Now he has piercing,
Yep.
or Dream under him. Now he has security.
Because
Like,
the biggest thing too, right, is that like King version, right, it's on play when digivolving, so that has so much range.
yep,
And there has like for as a crossheart player and everything, there's possibly going to be a few of your pieces in security that you're just going to be like, oh, I wish I had them. Well, now here's Shoutmon King version to be like, yep,
yep,
you can get that back now.
yep. Exactly. And also a cool thing about this too is just like Dev did this before actually when times four was still at three. I remember those times we had Digivolve times four into Starmons and draw two cards that way.
Yep,
Now we do that with King. Now we can just Digivolve him, play a Taiki, and then swing and draw two cards.
yep,
All that advantage from one King shout, man, that's beautiful. And especially about the part where you just like cross with him with a Shoutmon. Now he has Rush. You can play a Taiki, get advantage off that, and all of that costs just three memory to swing.
And
That's pretty
remember,
good to me, honestly.
Digicross -2 for one Digimon was saved in its card text. So, again, that's like all of your pieces. Of course, we're talking about the most optimal play with Shoutmon with the Rush inheritable. But like for three, being able to play a Taiki Kudo, and again, that's not just the new one, that's the old one too, right?
Yep.
So
Exactly.
you Digicross, get the old Taiki or the new Taiki, whichever one. If it's the old Taiki, get a search off. So like for three, you're basically spending six, but you're actually only just spending three. So that's value, instant value, um, just off of that. So like here's a free search, here's potential damage. Let me make it where your security's less buff, right? Like, what if it's another instance of just like I can just use the Rulumon so I can make sure my other guys can potentially
Yep.
survive, right? And
Yep.
again, for
Yep.
three is like a
And,
magic number sometimes.
and and also a cool thing too about this is that like the old King Shout, the original one, can grab him back from trash actually too, which is kind of funny because he
Yep.
is a Digimon that can cross, so he does count for his effect.
And of course, we can go into like to nitty gritty with this and everything, but these are just the most like in our face updates that we're going to make. Of course, you can make the argument about Time 7 superior mode and all that, but and then you can make the argument about Jet, Merva, and this, that, and the other. But we just want to talk about like the first things we're going to do. The other
Yep.
two things that I listed, those might turn into what is the format and what work depending on what the new tier one decks are doing, right?
Hmm.
So, that's why we're not being like, yeah, and plus those are kind of like a no-brainer as well. So another instance of like, hey, we're gonna mention that time. But yeah, no, we just want to give you guys give you guys like a heads up of like this deck is good and I don't think it's going anywhere. I think unless they hit it again and they like hit it and kill it, it's not going anywhere. So it's going to still be like a solid option. I mean, even if you don't have like everything ready for your other decks, hey, just get from King Shout version, you know what I'm saying? Just King Shout,
Hmm.
and just like upgrade your deck slowly. Keep playing the Crossheart.
His Royal Highness is here for a reason. He
Right.
he is literally the king.
So again, congratulations to the team captain of Crests of Utopia. Congratulations, Fusion, again, for
Thank
just
you.
making
Thank
the
you.
top. Hopefully next time and everything, you'll be able to just get your invite because I still feel as if top 16 is asking a lot with these
Yep.
online events. Personally,
Yep. Yeah.
feel
No.
like that's
No.
asking a lot.
Yeah, I definitely agree, but hey, I worked hard and honestly, again, shout out to like on like devs and Utop like Chris Utopia, shout out to my friend Art for helping playtest for like these last 3 weeks. Honestly, thank you to him. And also shout out to Mike's Comics for just helping
Helping
me with
us
the cards
out,
and everything.
right?
Yep.
And
Like
just making
100%.
sure to
Like thank you
get the
guys
cards
everything.
for us. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you guys again for everything, honestly. Like thank you guys all a lot. Thank you.
All right, and yeah, that's been the rest of us and everything. Let us know about you guys' builds and all that, and let us know if like how your success or just horror stories of going against Crossheart and all that. I'm down to read your comments. So again, thanks again for supporting the channel. Peace.